Okay, this is your final video for your list. We're going to talk about grammar, adjectives, and adverbs, and then your narrative closing, okay? So go ahead and open up to your RLA spiral in the grammar section. We already started with noun and verb, okay? So now we're going to go to the back of that because I told you to leave these 2 pages open before we started our focus phrases. So we're on the back of noun and verb, okay? And we're going to go ahead and do adjectives and adverbs. So you're going to need a blue and a purple. Blue and purple. Let me get my colors. Purple and okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to make these notes look just like the ones on the front, okay? Divide our page in half. And we've got adjective first. Okay. All right, an adjective describes a noun. It tells what kind, how many, which one. Some examples are beautiful, bumpy, intelligent, green, so even colors. The color code is blue for adjectives. And then I'll go ahead and I'll write a sentence that we can code on the notes page, okay? Okay. Describes a noun. Tells what kind, how many, so even numbers can be adjectives. Which one? Okay. Then some examples are beautiful, bumpy, intelligent, and green. Beautiful, bumpy, intelligent, green. You can even put a number on here to help you remember that. 6. Okay. Color code is going to be blue. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead, oops, sorry, it's getting blurry again. Okay, let me go ahead and write a sentence. Let's say, these students wore their yellow shirts to school. Okay, so we have yellow as our adjective, okay? Because we said a color. Which one? The yellow one, okay? Yellow is describing the shirt, which is the noun. Okay, describing the noun, yellow noun. Should have a blue box. Okay, here we go. All right, and then let's do adjective. I'm trying to keep this video quick. Adjective. Adverb. It describes a verb. Adverb. usually ends in ly, can tell when, can tell how. So some examples are quickly, tomorrow, nicely. The color code is purple. Okay, so adverb. Usually ends in ly, tells how, tells when. Okay, that color code is purple. And I will write a sentence. You have a parts of speech quiz on Friday. And that's actually true. So tells when, okay? Friday. Oh, we forgot to write some other example words. So other example words. Quickly, tomorrow, later. Okay, all of those are adverbs. Okay. You can pause this video to go ahead and take your notes, but I'm going to go ahead and start going over the writing. Okay, so pause it if you're not done writing. If you didn't write as fast as I did, that's fine. Pause it, but I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next thing. Okay, so now we're looking at narrative closing. It says use the previous video, so this one, for ideas on how to close out your narrative and go ahead and complete your draft if you haven't yet. So here are some ideas. I'm going to show you those slides right here. Okay, closings for narrative text. You can close with an image, all right? So it says, with the wind in my hair and the sun on my face, I rode off into the sunset. Okay, so giving us a good, vivid image of the end of your story. You can use dialogue again. At the end of the day, all I could say was, today was the best day ever. Okay, so a conversation or something that someone said. Action. I walked away without a scratch, but I will never escape the memory. That's a good one. I like that. And then emotion or reflection. This one, I think, along with image, will be, I think, the easiest ones to use if you would like to use those to close out your story instead of just saying the end or that was challenging, okay? So I will never forget the magical experience of being a passenger on a ship of the desert. So kind of giving that, or even like a lesson learned, like what did you learn from that challenge you had to overcome, okay? Here is the example of the closing from the ship of the desert, that same one that we read the intro hook for. It says, as I gingerly approached the camel, it was kind enough to lie down. Phew, I didn't need a ladder to get to the saddle. Fully expecting the camel to object, I swung my leg over the saddle, grabbed the T-shaped metal bar, and held on for dear life. Good thing, because when a camel stands up, it's like getting whiplash on a crazy carnival ride. Okay, this looks weird. Okay, so there's their closing, and I think probably they had this part right at the end of it too. Not sure where it went. I will never forget the magical experience of being a passenger on the ship of the desert. And that ties back to their title. So just some ideas, okay? So you'll go back to the writing section of your notebook, to your draft that you've been working on for the last week. Okay. You have, so I only have my intro still, but you have your whole story, and then you're going to do your closing at the end. Okay, ideally you would have this done when I come back on Wednesday so that we can start the revising and editing process. Okay, after that, you have social studies, the women's independence, if you didn't already finish on Friday, and if you did, then you just have the rest of the time to do independent reading. Please leave the room clean and organized so it's not so messy when I come back on Wednesday. Okay, see you tomorrow.